Well, hello there. It's good to see you right here on Health Diary. My name is Winnie Lubembe, and we're coming to you from Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital. So today we'll continue with the conversation that we started last week on exclusive breastfeeding, but really take a special emphasis on the role of communities in supporting women to exclusively breastfeed their babies. And with this year's theme being prioritize breastfeeding, create sustainable support systems, we'll be seeking to understand how do we provide that support system for the woman who is breastfeeding. Well, all that is coming up after this fact of the matter. Breastfeeding saves both families and health systems money. According to the Health Ministry, early initiation of breastfeeding in Kenya has declined from 62% to 60%, while bottle feeding has risen sharply from 22% to 34% in Kenya. Therefore, it's important to mobilize coordinated cross-sectoral efforts to implement policies and programs that provide concrete, long-term support for breastfeeding. Well, despite the fact that World Breastfeeding Week just ended, it doesn't mean that conversation on breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding at that, needs to end. We need to have this every single day. And this is a continuation of the conversation we started last week on exclusive breastfeeding. But now we want to look at how the community can chip in to support women and also just to ensure that there's that commitment to exclusive breastfeeding. And a panel today, we have John Robert Muthuku, who is a clinical nutritionist from Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital. That is such a mouthful, but thank you so much for making the time to join us in the conversation. And we also have Grace Karen Akinyi, who's a community health promoter from Dagoretti North. Good to have you. Thank you so much for joining us, Grace, as well. So, Robert, can we just start with, first of all, really understanding the importance of Breastfeeding Week, because this is not the first time we're having a conversation on exclusive breastfeeding. So can we just talk about the importance and how different partners, different parties can come together and support women to exclusively breastfeed their kids?
Thank you. Now, to start with, I'll say breastfeeding is a responsibility of a community. And what I mean by saying this is mothers cannot breastfeed effectively if the community does not give them support. It's breastfeeding is usually a natural way of mothers doing it, but the success of it all depends with how the community is the mother. So the mother needs support. They need psychological, emotional, and also physical support to ensure the mother is able to breastfeed exclusively. Mothers have advantages. And also, babies will have advantages when they both feed. There are those advantages that are linked to the mother and also to the baby. So mothers' advantage that breastfeeding prevents ovarian and risk of breast cancers. They also burn calories, meaning they are able to regain back their pre-pregnancy weight. And also, it reduces the chances of postpartum depression that happens after the mother giving birth. Also, to the babies, breast milk offer a lot of advantages, including strengthening the immunity, and also breastfed babies at low risk of child illness, for example, diarrhea. That's as a result of low immunity, and also optimal growth and development. You see, breast milk has all the nutrients in a balanced amount that the baby needs for the baby to grow well and achieve optimal nutrition.
I see. Yes. And we also talk about, and it's amazing that you talk about support that comes in different ways, but also want to understand the male involvement, in the same in just a second. But Grace, so when we talk about support and why it's important, can we talk about the challenges that maybe you have experienced, or women, who you help, have experience when it comes to exclusively breastfeeding their babies?
What I do in these households, when I go home visits, when the mother is pregnant, I walk with her. When walking with her, I tell her to go to the clinic to get the injections which are supposed to be given to her, a pregnant mother, to know her weight, to know how she's doing, and to know if she's HIV positive, she should know earlier to be given support for the health of the baby.
Okay.
And when she comes home, before she starts going to the clinic, I have to tell her there is a birth plan. Because in the community, in every household, maybe there is shortage of money, but when you have a birth plan, you put a mkebe and you can put 10 bob from the first month. When it reaches 9 months, you have money to pay the maternity. When she comes home, I look upon the child and I take the card she's having, the book they are having. If the return date of the vaccinations, are they correct? I remind her. And the baby weight.
Yeah.
Is it going low or is it going higher?
High? Okay.
If it is too high, it means there is danger. The baby maybe is developing something, but it might be moderate.
Okay. You talked about support that comes in different ways. So emotional, physical.
Yes.
What was the other one? There were 3.
Physical,
yes.
emotional, and psychological.
And psychological, yes. Can we go through then what that looks like to ensure that both the mother and the baby are healthy, they're okay, and the baby is able to exclusively breastfeed?
So the role of men in breastfeeding is very vital because for you to have a successful breastfeeding, man should play his part.
Okay.
For example, you see, after giving birth, the mother might not understand the challenges that she might face, and now it's the role of men to bridge that gap.
Okay.
For example, mothers are meant to have a lot of chores at home, washing the dishes, taking care of other children. Now, this is the time a man should come in and assist mother in carrying some of these duties. Again, the man should provide a conducive environment for the mother to breastfeed. Mother needs a good chair, to support the back. The mother might need pillows, a healthy meals. So it's the role of the man to ensure this is happening. And also to ensure the success of breastfeeding, the man should ensure that the mother is very comfortable, no stress. So should encourage the mother, reassure the mother that you have enough milk, because some of these beliefs that you may not have enough milk are psychological. So it's the role of the man to assist, to reassure the wife that you have enough milk and you're gonna do it and you're going to succeed. Again, breastfeeding needs a lot of conducive environment away from distractions. So it needs a man to protect the wife from such. For example, visitors coming each and every minute to see the baby.
Yeah, we
you
want
see
to see
that,
the baby at 2 days old.
Yes. That will interfere with the feeding time and that might affect the child's growth. Again, during the antenatal clinic and visit, it's the role of the man to ensure you go with your wife, so that you also understand the benefits of breastfeeding. Because once the community get involved, the man is aware, the grandmother is aware, the friends are aware. It's very easy to exclusive breastfeed your baby, and you are going to save a lot. You are going to save a lot in terms of the illness, in terms of the mother's health, and a lot of benefits.
I see. And you see, most of the time when you think about breastfeeding, we think it's purely a woman's job, take care of it. But there's a lot of support that needs to come to help this woman exclusively breastfeed the baby. And still on the myths, Grace, so you said culture is one of the biggest, barriers when it comes to exclusive breastfeeding. Anything that you've also noticed that, some women probably have shared with you when it comes to the myths and misconceptions of exclusive breastfeeding?
Myths in the breastfeeding, I can say mostly in culture, like Luos, where I come from, even the Luyas, we believe in something called chira. Okay. Chira is when you have a baby and the baby is diarrheaing. They believe that their men have had sex outside the house. When he comes in and he takes the baby,
carries the baby. The baby becomes sick.
The baby becomes sick, diarrheaing. But we have assured them that you must have a good hygiene. Washing your breast when you come from outside. When you go to the toilet, when you come back, you must wash your hands first. It's when you pull your breast to give the baby. and you must keep your utensils, like those who are giving cups to the babies. We don't allow we tell them not to use bottle, but you cannot tell them you must. We just tell them if she likes, she can practice it. If she doesn't want, you leave her as such.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we say don't use bottles because the bottles, and we show them, look at the bottle, how it is. Look at this nipple of the bottle. It is dirty, and this can bring diarrhea to
Issues
your
to the
child,
baby.
which can lead to death. And then you said your child has been witched, and it is you who is witching
Who's
your
not-
child.
not observing health. Okay. There's also this myth that we've had, I don't know if you have, that boys tend to feed more than the girls. I don't know if this is a myth
Oh, that
you've
one is
had.
not a myth.
Yeah.
In reality, when we talk on health, a boy child should eat more than a girl child, because physically, a boy child do a lot of physical work, even playing.
Yeah.
They play physically, but a girl doesn't play that much.
Okay.
So if you are a real mother, you should look for your boy to eat a little bit more.
I don't know, Robert, as we go on a break.
Now, on boys breastfeeding more than
The
girls, there's no
girls.
scientific evidence that suggests so.
Yeah.
But now from observational studies and population studies shows that it's true that actually boys breastfeed more than females. This is because during the first few months, the growth rate of boys is actually higher than that of the girls.
Okay.
And again, usually boys are born with higher weights compared to girls. So we expect they need more calories.
Yeah.
But again, when you look at the difference between the boy and the girl, the difference is just
It's
right.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's not scientifically proven. But now from observational studies, yes, boys tend to breastfeed more than
yeah.
girls.
It's interesting because on the last episode, Teresia said the girl is actually the one who's feeding more faster and the boy is a little bit slower. So, I mean, it's neither here or there.
Yes.
But in some instances, we recognize that. All right. So let's take a break. And then when we come back, we'll also look at the latching process in terms of the support, like he said, for mothers, that it's not just the mother to figure out how to breastfeed the baby and exclusively do so and ensure that the baby gets all the nutrients that they need, but there's also so much in terms of how to do it, when to do it, at what intervals, which I think we'll focus on, after the break from both of you. But all that is coming back after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back to the show. Today we're focusing on the role of the community. And we're talking about community. We're not just saying community at large, but even families, okay? Men as well. How can we all be involved in supporting a mother to exclusively breastfeed a baby for the first 6 months of their lives? We have John Robert Muthuku, who is a clinical nutritionist from Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital. And we also have Grace Karen Akinyi, who's a community health promoter from Dagoretti North, to really help us bring the conversation home. So John, for this, and I think we touched on this a little bit on the previous episode where we asked, yes, there's that push to exclusively breastfeed the baby for the first 6 months, but unfortunately that is not the case for all babies, because you'd find some, moms have died, some the moms do not have enough supply or don't have, milk supply at all. So then what is the alternative for this baby so that all babies, it doesn't matter the circumstances, but they're all exclusively breastfed for the first 6 months?
As we said, it's the responsibility of the community to ensure that the baby breastfeed.
Okay.
So support for mother is very important. And from the community, we have some cultural beliefs that may hinder the mother from breastfeeding.
Okay.
For example, the grandmother may try and interfere with the mother believes that exclusive breastfeeding is enough. When the baby cries, the grandmother might believe that the baby is not getting satisfied and start feeding early. So that can interfere with the breastfeeding. Again, there are some cultural beliefs from certain communities. And there are some communities that believe the colostrum is dirty and should not be given to the babies. And that will hinder the mother from breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Again, there are some communities that believe that when the mother is on her menses, the baby should not breastfeed. So that can interfere with the baby's nutrition. So it's important to create awareness to the community, to the father, to the grandmother, and also the friends of the mother to ensure that this happens. So in cases where the mother is not present or where the mother has died, so the baby can still breastfeed from other mothers. So it's called wet nursing. Wet nursing is whereby you give a baby to another female, and even if it's an older female, to breastfeed. It's when the baby latches on the breast, that stimulation can make the breast to produce milk. That usually used to happen a long time ago, but now because of the different changes in technology, mothers may not agree, or the community may not agree to for the baby to breastfeed from another woman. And that's the reason nowadays, what usually happens in such cases, either the baby started on feeds early, or that could be cow's milk, could be porridge, or if they are financially stable or they are organization that can actually help the baby started on formula milk. Yes.
Okay. And we'll talk about the whole formula conversation a little bit later. When you say wet nursing, so is it a mother who has given birth previously or someone who's never given birth, as long as there's that stimulation?
It's a mother who had given birth previously.
Okay, good to know. But at the same time, are there concerns? Like, in the sense, I don't know, this is my brain going...
Yeah, they are concerned, and that's the reason I said it's a whole issue. Because for a community or for the father or for the grandmother to trust the baby to be fed by someone else, nowadays there is case of the illness like the HIV, the TB that can be transmitted when breastfeeding. So it's a whole issue. It's not generally accepted, but it used to be there a long time ago.
And the babies were fine.
The babies were fine. They used to do well. But again, during those times, you see, the mortality rate was quite high compared to now. Now, the rates of maternal death and also child death is quite low with the advancing technology and also the advancing information. Yes.
I like that. I mean, Grace was saying even during the break, I can also breastfeed a baby. How are the mothers actually responding to this? That even if you don't have enough milk supply, don't worry, just give me your baby. I will breastfeed. How are the community respond to this?
The community, it depends on the family. It is a family matter now.
All right. So there's some families
if they agree to give the baby to another woman within the family circle, it is okay. If they don't agree, we refer them to the hospital. They are given the correct thing to do.
Okay, I see that. So then, as a community health promoter, how are you supporting these women? Because you said earlier on, you don't just wait until the baby is here. You walk through the journey, from pregnancy all the way to the child is here, the child is born. So what kind of support do you offer these women? What are some of the things that you teach them?
We just give counseling. We counsel them, and we put them into groups. Groups of 10 to 5. We talk to them, and we talk about the nutrition, and we have the food demonstration. Sometimes if one of the donors give us, if we are not given, you just talk and you leave. Because adults learners, they learn best when they touch, when they hear, and when they see. That's what we do.
All right.
That's how we work with them, and we visit them every month.
You said, so you have 100 homes, and you know all the children.
All the CHVs, yes. Because I report them
really
every
fantastic.
month. I report them.
Yeah, that's really fantastic to know that at least there's someone who walks the journey with the women. So when we talk about then breastfeeding, there's this myth that will automatically know how to. But at the same time, the baby might be deprived of some nutrients because the woman does not know how to properly breastfeed. So we have our baby here. This is baby Victoria. We had her in the previous episode. Do you want to help us understand, and also how men can support to make sure that the mother knows how to properly latch a baby, and to really ensure that the baby is exclusively breastfed? Do you want to show us how to? Okay.
Baby. So it's very important for men to be aware so that they can support their women effectively. So you see, sometimes the baby might breastfeed and the wife might have challenges. For example, sore nipples, the wife is tired, fatigue. So the man should be there to assist latch the baby on the breast.
Okay.
So the most common breastfeeding technique is what we call cradle position. Cradle position is whereby you support your the head with the elbow, then the hand can just go below the elbow, then tummy to tummy contact. Yeah. So this is how to breastfeed the baby. So before you breastfeed the baby, you should ensure that the mouth is wide open, and when holding the breast, the thumb should be on the upper side, and then all the other fingers should be on the lower side. Should make sure all the nipple is in the mother in the baby's mouth. Yeah, you should not hear the suckling sounds. You should not. All that you are supposed to hear is the swallowing sounds. That can happen. Yeah, so should ensure that all the nipple is in the babies.
It doesn't matter the size of the nipple because others have bigger nipples, so there's smaller ones. It doesn't matter.
It depends. The bigger portion, if it's in case of a larger nipple, the bigger portion of that nipple should be in the baby's mouth.
Okay.
This is good because it will prevent the baby from clucking the mother nipples. That can cause a lot of discomfort. Okay. If the mother has clacked nipples, breastfeeding will
becomes
difficult.
Yeah.
And exclusive breastfeeding will be hindered. So what else should happen? The mother can have some pillows to support her so that you don't get tired when breast. You can imagine holding this baby for 30 to 45 minutes. So you need something to support. Like a pillow below so that you can breastfeed exclusively.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see that. Are there some things that maybe women should avoid? Taking while you are breastfeeding? We've had this, nikikula hii inakata maziwa.
That's generally a myth, but I would say healthy eating, meaning that you're able to provide all the macronutrients, the proteins, the carbohydrates, and the lipids in adequate amounts, and also having enough fluids will be enough for the mother to produce enough milk.
Okay.
Yes. So healthy eating is key.
All right. So and Grace, so for the mother who is a bit concerned, sina maziwa ya kutosha, mtoto wangu ni kama hashibi at all those things, how do you support them, and what is it that you'd like to tell that mother who's like, mi sidhani niko na maziwa ya kutosha for the baby?
When a mother is breastfeeding, should have lunch, she should have breakfast, and after sometimes she takes a snack and then she takes an extra snack. Those are 3. Okay. When that is breakfast. At lunchtime also the same. She should take like that. And even the dinner, she should take the dinner itself. When after some hours before she sleeps, she take another snack.
Okay.
Because she's always up breastfeeding the baby, she will take an extra snack also. And she should use, she should eat the 7 food groups. Before we used to say protein, carbohydrates, and vitamins. But now we found that when eating vegetables, dark leafy vegetables is separated from the cabbages.
Okay.
Those dark leafy have got more nutrients rather than cabbages. Let's say something yellowish has got less vitamins and whatever and the nutrients, but the dark green it has a lot. That's how we advise them to take.
Very interesting. Okay, yeah, because we usually focus on protein, carbs, and then vitamins, but we don't tell them what.
Yes, and you see the other way of getting whether the baby is getting enough milk is the number of diaper changes. Yeah, so in a day, a mother should change 6 to 8 diapers.
Okay.
That's one of things that you should look at to know if you are getting enough milk. The other thing is the weight gain. Because when you go to the antenatal clinic, when the mother goes to the antenatal clinic, the weight gain should dictate whether the mother is breastfeeding enough, whether the mother have enough milk, so that now intervention can be done. So weight gain is very key in assessing whether the mother have enough milk. Yes.
Very fantastic. Well, what a way to end the conversation today, on the community's support when it comes to breastfeeding the baby. So John Robert Muthoko is a clinical nutritionist from Kenyatta University, teaching referral and research. I have to read that pole. because it's so wonderful. And also Grace Karen Nakinyi, community health promoter from Dagoretti North, helping us with the conversation. I know there's so much that we can discuss, but now, time is not on our side, but we'll still continue to have these conversations to really help as many women out there exclusively breastfeed their babies for the first 6 months of their lives. Well, time now for you to take a look at this health tip.
On today's health tip, we focus on healthy foods that the mother is supposed to take when breastfeeding. So these foods should be able to take care of the health of the mother and also breastfeeding child. So we focus on the three major groups that are the energy-giving foods, the body-building foods, and also the vitamins and minerals. Energy-giving foods are basically foods that give the mother energy. These are from carbohydrates. They include ugali, chapati, rice, etc. The body-building food, this includes proteins. Could be animal protein, that could be meat, fish, eggs, and also plant proteins. It include the legumes, the dengu, the beans. And protective foods, these are vitamins and minerals. They are found in majorly, particularly all foods, but mainly in vegetables and fruits.
Well, after all the conversations we've had as far as exclusively breastfeeding babies for the first 6 months of their lives, it's time to act and ensure that every woman is empowered and every child is nourished and no one is left behind. My name is Winnie Lubembe. A special thanks to Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital for hosting us today. Until next week, adios. This year's theme for World Breastfeeding Week being prioritize breastfeeding, create sustainable support systems. Guys, sasa nianze.